There is an old saying, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. 2026 has not been going well, which is unfortunate because the first week we were off to a great start getting the channel back up and running. I had a doctor's appointment. The doctor was thrilled with my weight loss progress. The knee was starting to feel a lot better. It wasn't there yet, but it was doing a lot better. And 2 days after the doctor's appointment, I was doing a simple walk to the grocery store, and the freaking knee went out on me worse than it did in December. I had to limp back to the house. It was in utter agony. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know if it was my age or what. But I was like, okay, I got to give myself time to heal. Then the following week, I had gotten a freaking impacted tooth. So now I'm on antibiotics. I did cover some of this stuff in these 2 now deleted videos that were supposed to be quick updates. I didn't want them in the permanent record, but I did want to keep people informed. So I recovered from the impacted tooth. The knee was doing better. The weather has been insane with the cold and the snow. This has been a very brutal winter for everybody, I'm sure. So I decide I'm going to be patient and I'm going to wait until January 28th. January 28th is the 8-year anniversary of creating the YouTube channel, and that will be my triumphant return. Well, that didn't work out that way. January 26th, the country got slammed with that snowstorm. I spent about 3 hours outside in the morning shoveling my walk, my neighbor's walk, the end of the driveway, only to get paid back from my neighbor by the guy who plowed their driveway, and they pushed a whole bunch of snow onto my side of the driveway, which created a big mess in my driveway and something for me to deal with. They tried to fix it a little bit, but let's just say their efforts to rectify the situation were minimum at best. Well, anyway, I'm out in the cold, and I don't know if that was what got it, but I got really freaking sick at the end of January, going into February. I don't know if it was the flu. I don't know if it was something else, but 2 weeks later, I start feeling considerably better. Now, at this point, the knee is doing great. You know, I start feeling a bit better. I'm getting my energy levels back, and I decide, let's go knock out a walk. You know, it's still snowy out there, but it's fine. You know, the walk to the fairgrounds wasn't too bad. The knee held up great. And then I did a mini lap when I got there. And even though there was quite a bit of snow, I powered through it, and it was fun, and I was feeling wonderful. I walked back to the house. I felt great. I'm like, I'm back, baby. This is great. I filmed it all. I was like, great. I've got a video I will put up for the channel. A video that's not me sitting in a bedroom in a recliner, blah, 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 talking. At least when I'm blah, 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 talking, you get the visuals of a snowy landscape while I'm taking a walk doing something. I start to assemble the footage, and then I think, well, I'll do the narration later that night to upload maybe the next day or two. Well, that night, something happens. A dog goes missing, and I go out looking for the dog, and I walked for 2 hours in the cold, you know, hoping to spot the dog, and there was no luck with that. Eventually, the dog was found, and the dog is okay, but I ignited being sick from being out in the cold. So when I woke up the next morning, I didn't have much of a voice. I was all phlegmy again, and I was like, oh, great, you know. So now I have to recover from that. So I had like an assembly of footage, and I had no way to do the narration because my voice was essentially coming in and out. You might even still hear it on my voice now. I am still sick right now. The weather is still shit right now. The knee has been good. The back has been giving me some trouble, but that's only when I wake up. I don't know if it's like how I'm sleeping or whatever, but the back usually starts feeling better shortly after I get up. I want to get back to weekly videos, if not daily videos again. And with the weather improving for March, hopefully that's when we get back on track. I absolutely understand if I have broken the final straw and you are done with me. You're like, oh, F this guy. This guy sucks, you know. I won't take it personal. I don't want to talk too much about any future plans. But what I will say is there is a plan. I don't know if I'll be able to pull off the plan, but I had a vision of a potential target that I want to shoot for. And if I want to go for this target this year, realistically, I do have to get back on track like sooner rather than later. And in my mind frame, the peak time to go after this challenge would be at the end of August. So we will have to see what the future brings. We will have to see if I can remotivate. There has been more damage. Being sick, being drained, I have been eating more without walking. I've definitely put some weight back on. Thank goodness it's not as bad as it was. You know, I have no regrets of starting a weight loss journey in late September leading into the winter months, because I dare say I minimized any other potential damage. Had I gone into this winter season over 400 pounds, I don't even want to begin to imagine where I could be right now. As you can see here, I put on like another 10 pounds. It's not the end of the world. It's not great. I can definitely feel it, but we all know once I get back to business, I should be able to knock this off and then some. I would have very much liked to have been considerably lighter by this stage of the weight loss journey, but life is going to knock you down sometimes, and it's going to suck. But it's important in those times that you find the strength to pick yourself back up again. Because I've come back from this before, and now it's time to come back from this again. So I'm going to wrap things up for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care, and I'll see you later.